I'm getting long. I just thought about this. I could sit here. I gotta eat anyway. Maybe I can make this like a mukbang. Is that how you say it? A mukbang video. This is delicious. My friend. Oh, I hope that little screw didn't fall in my food. Gave me a nice container of her roast beef, mashed potatoes, and cabbage. What a nice, wonderful, unexpected Mother's Day dinner. I'm sorry, y'all. I probably can edit that out. This new camera looks so pretty. They told me it was a much better camera than the one I had, the A13 Galaxy. This is 545. I forgot what it is. I can't tell you off the top of my head. Better than the restaurant. Good on home cooking. If you don't like cabbage, I'm sorry. It's good for you. Eating starch, you should at least be eating some veggies too. Green veggies or like cabbage, green bean, salad. Again, orange, any color. The veggies are good. Squashes. There's the yellow squash. Pepper, red and orange. Red peppers are especially very filled with, I think it's the vitamin C and vitamin A. So if you're going to be eating your protein, you meat and potato people, meat, potatoes, you should also be eating veggies. Good shot at that. Is that a good shot? Look at that big piece of roast pot roast that I got. It's just so delicious. This is all so delicious. And to be eating it out here in this nice breeze. Beautiful scenery, green. This is a shot of my scenery I'm looking at, y'all. Look at that. Bright sunshine out there. Greenery, trees, nature. Nature blesses me. Therapeutically really helps me, y'all. I'm seeing my therapist tomorrow. I see my therapist at least once a month. I do the cognitive therapy. I no longer haven't taken in a long time Zoloft. I no longer take Zoloft. Oh, Seroquel. That was extremely long time ago. Not a decade ago, but 7, 8 years ago, I think I took a Seroquel. And I had psychiatrists, psychologists, whatever, try some other. I was a client of MHDD, Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities, Texas MHDD, go away, for a while. Because I was having, at the time, I was having extremely, I guess you could say, severe PTSD triggers and symptoms that were so bad I wasn't sleeping at all, pretty much. I couldn't sleep. Wasn't that I wasn't at manic. I wasn't like chronically manic. I was chronically anxious. I had anxiety like crazy. I vacillated between anxiety and I think depression. They say I had bipolar disorder. And I went through a really rough period, guys, where I was on the verge of having to be hospitalized, and my thing was, I don't want to go into a lockdown unit. No, thank you. On the psych ward. I had a fear if I go into admission, allow myself to be admitted, because they weren't committing me. I wasn't far gone enough to be committed. I still had rights and all that, autonomy and whatever, to make decisions. I said, no, I'd rather do treatment as an outpatient, not an inpatient, for this stuff that's happening with me. And if that means I need to talk to somebody every day, even, I'll do it. I'll do whatever I need to do, short of admitting into a lockdown, unit to become an inpatient on a psych ward. I'm not, I don't want to do treatment that way. That's not treatment to me. You're not going to just medically restrain me. No, I'll do the work necessary. Cognitive therapy, counseling, psychotherapy. I'm willing to go through things like that. EMDR, rapid eye movement kind of, anything. Hypnosis, I was even considering hypnosis. But not a lockdown unit. Anyway, they tried various medications along with the therapy. And for a while, I guess I needed that Seroquel because it did make me sleep. It did get me back on the regimen of where, I was catching some sleep, doing better, eventually getting up there to 6 hours a shift at a spell, 6 to 8 hours sleep. I needed to, I was so sleep deprived. And so now, that was a while back. I haven't had to take even the Zoloft. I started taking the Zoloft PRN gradually and tapered off. So now I just do my cognitive therapy at least once a month. And I pray and meditate and obviously exercise, especially my brain, in conjunction with, physical exercise. I submerge myself or immerse myself when I can in nature. Those are my therapeutic go-tos, especially. I'm trying to eat better, taking supplements, many supplements. I'm still struggling to get consistently hydrated. Drink my water like I should every day. I don't know why, but I struggle with that. This is good. It's filling. I'm going to have to eat some of the meat, save this. This gave me a big piece of meat. And so some of this I have to eat later. Got leftovers. for later. Incidentally, in the last few weeks, I don't know that I can even say a full month, I have begun to have uncomfortable symptoms with the TMJ, especially on this side. Chewing my food, my jaw pops and makes a noise. Pop, pop, snap, crackle, pop. Like Rice Krispies when I was a kid. I used to love to eat Rice Krispies. That the commercials talked about snap, pop, snap, crackle, pop. They made the sound when you put your milk in. What kid didn't like to hear that? Eat your Rice Krispies, snap, crackle, pop. When your jaw is doing the snap, crackle, pop and hurting, popping and hurting when you chew, very uncomfortable. So I'm beginning to deal with that, working on trying to find holistic ways. My approaches, I prefer are holistic as much as possible. Okay, one more bite. And then I'm covering the rest for later. It's wonderful, especially if you don't have biological family nearby. That you know you're comfortable around and have ongoing good fellowship with, and eat with them or whatever, dine with them, fellowship with them. If you don't have that, either you're an only child or it's just lacking. In my case, my daughter, my granddaughters, my great-grandkids, they're all in Chicago and outlying areas. The oldest, for a while, had an apartment in Skokie, Illinois, one of the suburbs, Chicago suburbs. And I was with them last year this time. I had a wonderful Mother's Day last year. It was the best ever. I don't think I can ever top that Mother's Day. Soon after that Mother's Day last year, I got on a pair of roller skates after taking the walking boot off. I wore a cast, and Mother's Day last year was the first day after breaking my ankle that I had walked outside in regular shoes. Took a few steps outside, took my little Chewini and walked around, my daughter, oldest granddaughter's apartment. We all had Mother's Day celebration, meals and everything, meals and dessert and all there. And she was on the second floor. I walked down the steps in a regular shoe, took my little dog, let her walk around, walk back up. Hallelujah. And a few weeks after that, I literally put on high top shoes. The first shoes was just my steel toe, almost like tennis shoes. They're not really tennis shoes, but anyway, they're low quarter. That was the first shoe I put on to go outside in after putting away the walking boot. First, we took off the non-weight bearing cast. Then we took off the walking boot. And, I practiced for a few weeks in the walking boot, getting my ankle up a little bit, a little strengthening. And eventually the shoe, then the high top tennis shoes. And eventually I put my feet in a pair of high top roller skates and went roller skating 2 Sundays in a row. They have a Sunday family roller skate at the rink in Chicago, Illinois, on 87th Street. And We went 2 Sundays. We would go in 3 Sundays in a row. The third Sunday would have been Father's Day, June, and my daughter and I were just the two of us. We're gonna go. The first time we went, we took my great grandkids, oldest granddaughter, and then I think she and I went with just the great grandkids, her grandkids, my great grandkids. Neither granddaughter was with us, I don't think. And then the last time we were gonna go, just the two of us, she and I, and it fell on Father's Day, and it dawned on us, no, we don't want to go to the roller skating rink on Father's Day Sunday. The other Sundays have been pretty tame and cool, but on Father's Day, we knew everybody and their mother and father would try to be there, so we instead got some Baskin's 31 ice cream, I think, and some Garrett's popcorn, and we had a wonderful mother-daughter pig out, relax out Father's Day Sunday, Father's Day day. It was awesome. So, again, I'm just updating you all while I can with this brand new phone, with this wonderful new camera. And I accidentally, the first one I uploaded, I didn't check it and look at it, and bam, it was on public. And I don't do that. I usually upload them to private first or unlisted and kind of review them. And I'm learning how to edit a little bit, even cut and trim. I didn't do that. I didn't know that. I posted it. Bam, it went public. That was a mistake, y'all. That was that going near live. And but a few of you did comment already. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. You guys are supporting me and encouraging me. If that's all you do is just watch and comment on my YouTube, small YouTube efforts. Again, slow progress is better than no progress, and I'm making progress with my YouTube channel simultaneously while I'm working through crises, guys. I was a drama queen, I guess. All my life has in the past. I always have to rise to the occasion. And here I am again, have fallen myself back into a situation that's really challenging. But in the midst of that, many miracles. I've had wonderful divine appointments, connections, meeting wonderful people. I've met a new church family, becoming involved with them. Retreading, because I had been out of church for some while. You know, the person I just divorced, he had been actually an atheist with his first wife, and they were together until her death. 65 years. Anyway, that's another whole look. If you get my book, hey guys, it's not my book. I'm a contributing co-author in the Black Woman's Guide to wait a minute, let me get the title right. Boldly Beyond 50, A Black Woman's Guide to Aging with Excellence. It's an anthology. There's like 18 chapters. I'm one of the 18 authors. And we each contributed a chapter of something significant, a period that's significant in our own lives after 50 years of age. And mine was pretty real recent, me going through brief short marriage after 17 years single. Speaking of sobriety, sober, this year I'll be celebrating 37 years sober from alcohol. That became my drug of choice, drug of no choice, the one that almost took me out. I did pot, I did experiment with other things, not mind-altering chemicals. And fortunately, I guess for some reason, my system didn't like any of those. So I didn't, they never became my drug of choice. The alcohol was something my body did flips over the first time I drank, and I was surprised because I had sworn to myself, I'm not going to drink. My mother was a beer alcoholic, and she would act very bizarre sometimes, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of drinker. I only lived with her until I was 7, and then I was put in the system and grew up in foster care, a survivor of Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. From 7 to 17, I was a foster child. It was not great. My experience was not ideal. but it could have been a lot worse, and it saved me actually from worse. Had I not been removed from my family situation with my biological mother, I probably would have become impreg, I'll put it like that, by her husband, my stepfather, that I sometimes refer to as Daddy Demonic. Anyway, we won't go into all that right now, but going into foster care really saved me from worse. So for that, I am grateful. I'm the oldest of 6. I had a sister and a brother that were stuck in the system with me, and the 3 younger boys, by my stepdad, managed to get back with our biological mother when she became a single mother. Their father was not someone actively involved in their upbringing. He had some involvement in their childhood that was extremely, let's say, traumatizing. Extremely traumatizing. There was child abuse, there was molestation, there was abandonment, betrayal, you name it. There was that. So I got off on a tangent again. I apologize, you all. Let me wrap this up. It's time for me to wrap up this video. As I said, it's supposed to be a quick update. I'm sorry I went off on a bunny trail that may have triggered some of you in a bad way, a negative way. And if it did, I'm thoroughly sorry. But at the same time, if it triggered you in a negative way, know that you're not alone. And it ain't over till it's over. And as long as we're breathing, there is hope. There is hope for change. There is hope for improvement. There is hope for healing and reconciliation and restoration and revival and on and on and on. Wonderful stuff, guys. I'm starting over at almost 70, and I'm doing my best to, as much as possible, look at the bright side. Again, I have found a church family, so to speak, that I'm bonding to and with and engaging with. And for me, that has been helpful in my past extremely. I had gotten away from that, being in a marriage that didn't really encourage that, if you will. And now I'm like a song says, going back to the old landmark. That's what I want to do in that regard of for my own spirituality and mental health. Well, health, period. Body, mind, and spirit. So again, thank you all for listening. I love all of you. Please stay safe out there. Sorry about the spoon in the way. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Blessings. Remember, slow progress is better than no progress. I have to wrap up this video for now, but I hope to see you next time. And over and out for now. I'll be back, God willing.